Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Could you please start sharing your screen?
So it's not shared, huh?
Not yet. Probably join, start sharing your entire
You
screen.
just go to PowerPoint. You
Is it,
slide
is it,
show.
Acha, PowerPoint slide, huh? PowerPoint mode, huh? Is it okay now?
No, just use slideshow mode, sir. Yes, sir. It's fine. Fine, sir. It's fine. No issue. Okay, friends. Good morning. For today's session, I welcome our senior, Dr. Aravindan. He is presently a scientist plant pathology at our regional station. Before joining here, sir was earlier at ICR National Research Institute for National Rice Research Institute, Cuttack, where he worked for about 9 years, and he transferred to this institute 3 years back, and presently he is working at our regional station. Sir, I welcome you for this 21 days training program for today's lecture. Sir, you kindly start your presentation. No, sir, you are not audible. Just you. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Can you also share your screen?
Okay. Very good morning to everyone.
Screen available.
Yeah. Now
Please share your screen and your presentation.
now, and it's
You are audible as well as visible, but presentation is not.
slides are visible now?
No. Please share your entire screen.
Yeah, I have done it now. Is it visible now?
Dr. Manjan, are you able to see?
Okay, visible.
Dr. Manjana,
Is it
is
not
the slide visible? Yes, let's continue. Let's continue.
अब इससे कर रहे हैं क्या?
इसमें क्या मैं सीधे कर देंगे ब्लूटूथ हटा दें
ब्लूटूथ हाँ आप डायरेक्टली करो सर नो इशू.
So is my voice audible now? Voice is okay?
Yes, sir. Voice is okay. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
So please don't change the windows.
What?
So don't change the windows. You need to be on the PowerPoint.
Okay, is it in PowerPoint mode, no?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Okay.
Dr. Manjana, can you confirm?
Is it in PowerPoint mode, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is okay, sir.
Okay, let's continue, sir, then. Continue with your lecture.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Very warm good morning to everyone. Sorry for interference. Okay. And myself, Aravindan, yes, I'm working as a plant pathologist at Indian National Institute of Seed Science and Technology. Today we are going to discuss the topic related to seed treatment. The topic is related to recent advances in seed treatment methods in management of specifically to seed-borne pathogens. So as we all know, the seeds are very important component of our agriculture system, and to secure very high yields, we need healthy and high quality seeds. They are very important. component of our food production. So as per water blank, to prevent the plant disease epidemics, so eliminating the seed-borne pathogen is very, very important component to control or prevent the plant disease epidemic, because it is the initial source of inoculum for spreading of epidemics. So first of all, we will see what is seed treatment actually. So seed treatment, we normally think seed treatment means nothing but a application of some agents to control or remove the plant pathogen which are located in seed itself. It's not only related to seed. Yes, we are applying different biocontrol agents, different agents like physical agents, chemical agents, and biological agents to remove the pathogen from seed, as well as it protect the seeds from emergence, from the seed germination and its early stages of the crop growth also. So today's class, which we are going to see in such a way that I'm going to give initially a small introduction. Later, we are going to discuss some different ways of seed treatment, how we are doing it. And later, we see different methods which are involving in the seed treatment methods. So first, we will see what is the advantage, why we have to go for seed treatment. So because the seed is very, very important component of our agriculture system. So protecting the seed during the storage and after planting through seed treatment will help a lot advantage. By the way, like it reduces the initial inoculum. As earlier I told, it prevent the even plant disease epidemic as per Van der Blank, and it minimizes the environmental side effects as we apply a lot of fungicides or pesticides to control these pathogens. By applying in the seed stage itself, we reduce the amount of the chemical components in the environmental side, so it will minimize the environmental side effect also, and it helps to increase the seed vigor, and it helps to apply the chemicals in even and uniform application, not only chemicals, other biological control also. And the seed treatment also helps, we can go for combination of different treatments, and to help not only a single pathogen, we can help multiple pathogens which are located in the seed. Thereby we can prevent the pathogen to establish, and later stage it can cause havoc. And it also helps some breaking seed dormancy, though it's not comes under our pathology side, but the seed treatment also helps to break some seed dormancy and improving the emergence of plants as well as. So normally, as per our estimates, in India, nearly around 80% of seeds which we are using for the food production are mostly go as untreated. Because most of the seeds which the farmer is also already using as a farmer saved seeds, they have not mostly they use as an untreated one only. Whatever we purchase mainly from like horticulture crops, which are most high value crops, those crops only we mostly treated seeds. But if you see developed nations, nearly 100% of the seeds what they are using are mostly are treated ones. And so this shows that how the seed treatment is very, very important to manage the plant diseases, especially seed-borne pathogens. And as earlier I told, seed treatment is how multiple methods they are doing it. And normally the three methods we use as a treatment methods. One is seed dressing, another one is seed coating, another one is seed pelleting. So first method is seed dressing. This is the most common method people use for the seed treatment method. Yes, normally farmers, they will use in the farm method also. Mostly they use it for high volume crops. But here in the seed dressing method, what we normally use is, we use some dry powder, chemical component or maybe a biological component, or in the form of dry powder or either in the form of slurry. Okay. So this seed dressing method we normally use in both farm as well as even industries. But this is very, very most common method. Here only we just treat the seeds with the dry powder, but it's not very efficient method. Next important method is the seed coating method. What we are doing is here we use some special binder along the seeds to enhance the adherence of the particular fungicides or maybe a bactericides or everything. But here we need some advanced treatment technology. Normally the big industries will use these methods. In seed coating, normally there are two types of seed coating methods are available. One is film coating method, another one is seed encrusting method. If you see film coating method, what we are doing is we will do here thin coating of seeds. Just we will increase the 5% of our seed weight if you compare with seed treatment methods. If you use only very, very small amount of chemicals, just we will improve the only thin layer of coating only we will do in film coating method. Whereas in seed encrusting method, what we do is we increase the seed weight by applying the binders and fillers nearly 8 to 500%, so that you won't get the original shape as well as, but in the meantime, but there will not be much impact on the original shape of the seed. Then compared to even seed pelleting. So this seed encrusting will help in a very good way. It helps in improving radical emergence without affecting the vigor and uniform sealing emergence. So next, another important method what we use, they have a lot of limitations in seed coating method. Like we cannot use these seed coating methods like maize, bean, peanut, and vegetable seeds. And we need higher concentration of chemicals for these seed coating methods. And the dosage is also used to change with compared to seed moisture and the seed size and the duration of treatment. So it's very difficult to make the recommendation sometimes. The seed coating, and sometimes it will have some deleterious effects also due to high concentration of chemical we use during the seed coating methods. Next and most advanced seed treatment method what we use nowadays is seed pelleting. So here what we use is, here we will change the original shape of the seed also. We will use a lot of binders, lot of polymers and fillers, and we will change the shape of the seed. And it is very, very advanced. We need some advanced technology and advanced machinery for doing this. And it's the most expensive application method, but it will not carry it will reduce the phytotoxic effects of the seeds, which normally would happen in seed dressing or seed coating method. But here there won't be not much phytotoxic effect, and most of the high volume, high value crops like low volume vegetable crops, normally in advanced nations they use this method of seed pelleting for this as a seed treatment method. But here the problem is that so many industries are doing it. They won't give this component how they are doing this seed pelleting. But nowadays it's also picking up in India also. So this is a general comparison of this untreated seeds. If you see the top of the diagram, first diagram A, it shows that untreated seeds. Next B, the diagram, it shows that seed dressing, only just application of some dry powders of chemical component, maybe a biological component. Last component of the diagram C shows that seed pelleting, how it changes the seed shape of the color also, seed shape, as well as it increases the volume of the seed. So here in lower diagram, you can see the three types like film coating, encrusting, and pelleting. In film coating, just we improve the size, the weight of the seed just nearly around only 5%. Whereas in encrusting, we will increase the size of the seed nearly 8 to 500 times. Whereas in pelleting, we will increase the size weight of the seed to nearly 500 to 5,000 times. So this pelleting will help increasing the seed size. So with the increasing differently the shape also, and they mostly use very, very small seed. The size of the seed size will be very small, but very, very high value crops. So normally whatever we are getting seeds in markets, especially vegetable seeds, flower seeds, mostly they have done mostly the pelleting. Now the next part of our presentation, we see there are different methods of seed treatments. Okay, so the different methods includes like chemical seed treatments, physical treatment, and biological seed treatments. These are very common methods we use during the seed treatment. So first we will see the chemical seed treatment. We all know normally if you think that seed treatment means it's nothing but most commonly method is we use chemicals. We use only chemical seed treatment that we all think as a seed treatment. Okay, the seed treatment is nothing but the use of some fungicides or insecticides or bactericides to controlling of that is disease and pest seed-borne pathogens. And we are, as I already told that it is very, very common and worldwide practiced. Why we have used it is very, very common? Because it takes very, very less time, and the accuracy and the management of seed-borne pathogen is very, very high in chemical seed treatment. So that's why most of the time we use chemical seed treatment as the seed treatment method. Now, as per the one data, like we are nearly around the global market is nearly around $3 billion in 2025. The chemicals are I'm talking about only chemical seed protectant market. It's nearly 3 billion in 2025. It's nearly 2/3 of our total seed treatment markets. And we use a lot of fungicides for seed treatment, which I will list out at a further stage. And recently, Indian government has banned some of the fungicides which are used as seed treatment also, like captopril, benomyl, and PCNB. These chemicals earlier they used normally for chemical seed treatment, and nowadays these chemicals have been banned by Indian government. So in chemical seed treatment, we already know there are the 3 types. We already studied some like local, systemic, and contact fungicides. So there are 3 types of fungicides we use normally for seed treatment method. One is contact fungicides, another one is locally systemic fungicides, and one is fully systemic fungicide. So which one is very effective? We all know that as per the diagram it gives, like contact fungicide, it mostly gives protection in around the seed only. Whereas systemic, it moves inside through xylem as well as phloem, and it gives protection not only removing the pathogen from seed, it also gives protection during the seedling stage also, and even sometimes early stage of the plant growth also. So we normally choose nowadays, we use mostly a systemic fungicide for chemically treating seeds. So some of the chemical compound which I am insisting here is, these are the chemical compound we are using for different seed treatments in India, like Captan, carboxin. Carboxin we use mostly for Pythium and Phytophthora, mostly soil-borne pathogens. So most of the seed treatment chemical not only used for only seed treatment purpose, like seed-borne pathogen, we use to control some of the soil-borne pathogen also, to protect them from very young, early stages of the plant establishment. So carboxin is mostly used for Pythium and Phytophthora, as well as smut, and diphengonazole, mangozerbs, metalaxyl, and PCNB, tebuconazole, diabendazoles, thiram. Thiram is very, very common fungicide we use for a long time. Triadimonol and triticogazole. These are the common fungicides we use normally for our seed treatment. So nowadays, what we are used, normally we use get in the markets are in the either in the liquid form or sometimes in the dry powder form. So nowadays the market is moving towards nano fungicides. So what is the advantage of nano fungicides? Are the fungicides normally we use, most of the things are go in non-target effects. So most of them are go away from the application area. But here, by using the nano fungicide, we can enhance our pesticide delivery, and it will improve the pesticide utilization also, and it will reduce the runoff into environment, and it reduce the environmental pollution, and it will reduce the negative impacts caused by the pesticides. How these nano fungicides are doing this advantages we are getting through nano fungicides? Because nano fungicides is improving the droplet adhesion among the seeds, and it increases the dispersion of the fungicide very well, and sometimes it improves the bioactivity of the active ingredients also. So normally what nano materials we use for seed treatments, there are a lot of works are recently going on regarding this nano material, and not what normally they use in nano materials are nothing but silver, gold, iron oxide, titanium, copper, and zinc oxide, because they are having a lot of antimicrobial components, and a lot of works were going on. Here I have listed out only 1 or 2 for time purpose I have listed out, but lot of work was going on this regarding with nano fungicides, and they are proving very effective in managing the seed-borne pathogens. Here I have mentioned one example, like for managing the Aspergillus flavus, they used one component called as diosemicarbozones. Yes, a nano fungicide, and it was working very well in management of this Aspergillus flavus. So how this nano fungicide or nano pesticides are acting upon? So first of all, we have to develop a nano fungicide by using the nano materials. Here the fillers and binders all should be the nano formulations. So once the nano pesticides or fungicides are made it as a nano material, they have a lot of advantages. Like earlier I have discussed, they have enhanced stability and enhanced efficiency, controlled and targeted release, and decreasing the residue of the pesticides in non-target effects. And we need very, very lower amount of pesticides. We all know that already in market there are a lot of nano fertilizers came in, and they are working very fine. And the government is promoting in very large manner the usage of nano urea. And future course of time, I think the nano fungicide is going to be the future, and especially for seed treatment and even for foliar application also. So there are a lot of works are going on this regarding this area, and I will include this in our handouts. So this is regarding with chemical seed treatment. Now we are going to another method like physical treatment. Why we have to go physical treatment? We already discussed in chemical fungicides, though it is very common and very effective, but there is a lot of issue regarding with environmental side effects and non-target effects, and the promotion of recently the organic farmings, so that we have to take away the chemicals from the agriculture input side. So now we are coming into that side, like alternative to chemical fungicides. So they are mainly physical treatments as well as biological seed treatments. So one of the age-old method is physical seed treatment. Here, there are a lot of different methods of seed treatments are available. One is hot water method, another one is dry air treatment, another one is aerated steam treatments. And if you go further, recently we are using a lot of radiations like UV radiation, gamma radiations. And recently there were another techniques called as cold plasma technique. And there are a lot of recent advances are happening in this area. First, we will see hot water treatment. So hot water treatment, we all know that is very, very old and common method. Here we use only temperature to manage the seed-borne pathogen. But here the issue is that we have to be very careful while using this method, because even a small change in temperature will impact the viability of the seed as well as planting material. So normally hot water method, we have to be very careful. This is the method how we will normally use is before doing hot water treatment. Normally you have to do pre-warming the seeds like normal temperature, like nearly 10 minutes, like 20 degrees Celsius, and that exact length. Here, what we are normally used to as a pathologist is that we have to standardize this time period, because the time period should be very, very exact. Otherwise, either it will not impact the pathogen or it will impact the seed viability. So the exact time of the treatment is very, very important. So after pre-warming, we have to go for exact length of the treatment. After the treatment, we have to go for cold water treatment to stop this heating action. Then we go for normal drying in the field, thinly through a proper towel. But this is a very, very common method we normally people used to do. But this method is also not applicable to all crops. This is not applicable to like crops like beans, beans, cucumber, lettuce, sweet corn, and beets, where the seeds are very, very sensible. There we cannot use this treatment very effectively. Here, some of the things I have listed out, they are already standardized for some pathogens like brassica. They have standardized 30 minutes for 50 degrees Celsius. If you go for black rot, it's like 30 degrees again for 15 minutes. If you go for cereal loose mud, like nearly we have to go for 5 hours of pre-soaking with 1 minute of 49 degrees Celsius with 11 minutes of 52 degrees Celsius to manage effectively to control the loose mud. This will vary, depends upon the pathogen. There are a lot of work has been done. The problem with hot water treatment is it is very, very sensitive technique and very old, age-old technique. And sometimes we lose the viability if the farmers are not aware of the technique properly. Next is dry heat treatment. This is also very, very old treatment. Normally, people used to do solarization. Simply, they will keep in synthetic floor. Nearly, they will keep in sunlight or some synthesized like artificial heat treatment. But this is a very time-taking treatment. Though it is a simple way, but this is a very, very little interest in industrial agriculture, because we have to keep nearly 4 days. One example for managing of anthracnose in lupin, we have to keep the seeds nearly for 4 days at 70 degrees Celsius. So it's very, very lengthy process, and it's not having much interest on industrial agriculture, but it's very, very simple process we farmers normally used to do. They simply keep it in the sun for the solarization, but it's very effective also. Next important method is normally, recently there are a lot of works are going on in this method regarding radiation treatments. Here I have mentioned only few because of, I don't want to be complicated by putting so many examples. There are a lot of work has been done, and I have simply put one example like for radiation, by using this UVB radiation at 2.83 kilojoules meter per second, along with heat radiation, has resulted even 80% reduction in Coltotrichum acutatum. There are multiple reports using this radiation treatment for managing of the seed-borne diseases, but this also be very, very particular while using this treatment, because the dose should be very, very perfect. If you increase the dose or reducing the dose, that the viability of the seed will be impacted, and even germination will be reduced. So the technique of radiation treatment, there are multiple reports are there, which I have given in our handouts. So you can check up on it. And but it's also very effective, and it is gaining momentum at these days. And last method we use normally, we are going to discuss in our physical seed treatment, is nothing but a cold plasma technique. Cold plasma is nothing but a ionized gas we used. It's like a normal non-thermal processing method. Simply, but it used to clean the surfacing of seeds, and sometimes it's very effective to control the even plant pathogens, seed-borne pathogens also. Here I have mentioned some the recent work which I have done under cold plasma. There are some pathogens, Aspergillus and Fusarium. They are used in legumes. Aspergillus, they have even reduced the pathogen 99%, and even without any reduction in the germination rate, which are observed by Selkirk in 2008. But recently there are multiple reports on other pathogen also. Fusarium, in case like pine, it has reduced multiple range, and sometime in buckwheat there is more than 50% of reduction. But this is it's going on. The work is already underway in multiple area, but still that standardization has to be done in proper way to do it in industrial level. So next part of our methodology is doing is biological seed treatment. Yes, we already discussed chemical treatment and physical treatment. Nowadays, the biological seed treatment is gaining a lot of importance because of this organic farming and this non-target effects of chemical fungicides, and the problem with physical treatments. We need some very sensible techniques. So people are going towards biological seed treatment, and it's very, very most popular. And nowadays, we are getting in the markets also, we are getting a lot of biological components for seed treatment purpose also, even for foliar treatment, seedling treatment, we are getting biological components. So this industry also is growing very fast. In nearly around 2020, our data is showing that nearly the market of this biological seed treatment is nearly 1 to 1.5 billion. Nearly half, and it's picking up this chemical seed treatment market. So biological seed treatment, normally we used to, in our market, if you go see, we used to get normally Trichoderma, Pseudomonas and Bacillus. And there are a lot of other organisms also available for biological seed treatments. But mostly in markets, we used to get only these three for biological seed treatment, especially for controlling of these plant diseases. So there's nothing but Trichoderma. Trichoderma, we are having a lot of different species are available, and they are very effective. And normally we use 10 gram per kg of the seed is the standard recommendation. But the problem is that is to developing a biological component in the commercial way, we have to go for a lot of like non-target effects. We have to be very careful while choosing this different species for the seed treatment purpose. And we all know that the biological components are not only controlling the plant diseases, it's also having some PGPR activities. You all know that it's very good than compared to chemical, like they have a lot of like hormone production. So it helps in seed germination and enhancing the seed vigor. And by the way of lot of cetrophore protection and lot of many advantages are there by using this biological seed treatment. Here I have mentioned some important, only few for our class purpose. I have mentioned only few components used for biological seed treatment, which are done in the lab as well as in vivo and in vitro study. Some of them are available even in market as a commercial formulations also, and those things I have mentioned in our handouts. So these are all some of the biological control agents, like as earlier I told, like Trichoderma, Pseudomonas, Bacillus subtilis. These are very common. Along with that, there are some other biocontrol agents also available, like Bacillus thuringiensis, Artemisia, Leucocidia, and but they are not very much commercially available than compared to Trichoderma and Trichoderma harzianum, like Pseudomonas. They are very common. So in vivo, we have find out very good effect, but in in vitro conditions, so in vitro conditions is giving very good effect in some of the pathogens. But in vivo effect, though it is not very effective than compared to chemical, but still the chemical comparison to chemical, though it is not very effective, but still the biological seed treatments is giving lot of advantage it is giving some of the even biological component. There are results are declaring that they are close to chemical seed treatments, but still at least even half of the chemical seed treatment effects are still in a good way of managing this seed-borne pathogen without using this chemical. So these are all some of the examples which I have mentioned for biological seed treatments. So out of this overall class, we have mentioned that there are different ways that we are doing the seed treatments, like seed treatment, seed dressing, seed coating, like film coating, and we are doing seed encrusting methods, and we are going for seed pelleting, which is more common nowadays. And finally, if you see, there are different types of seed treatments like chemical, physical, and biological seed treatments. Like even all different methods are having different advantages, and they also have different limitations also. Though we use chemical seed treatment is a very, very common method, but biological seed treatment is also picking up recently in a large way. So by compiling all this information, like I'm telling that the final conclusion is that by increasing the precision and effectiveness in crop protection method, it made very, very important disease component agriculture input. Seed treatment. Seed treatment become a very, very important disease component in managing the disease at recent days. So by management of seed treatments, by combination of all these seed treatments, like chemical complemented with physical and biological control agents, are the requirements of new agriculture policies and markets nowadays. And the seed treatment must be an initial step of raising crop. So whatever, as earlier I have told, one data shows that nearly 80% of the seeds which we are using nowadays are mostly goes as untreated. So we have to promote in a policy as well as farmer awareness. We have to develop that seed treatment should be an initial step of raising the crop, because it plays very, very pivotal role in sustainable crop production and a very important component. And though I have mentioned a lot of methods, and lot of methods are not even come into practical way. So we need a lot of research has to be done in this mechanisms, like how they are giving effects and what are the advantage and how they are going to impact these seed microbiomes. Different treatments are giving how they are giving their impacts on different crops of seeds, microbiomes. So we have to undergo these studies also in future. So to make the seed treatment as one of the important component in food production. So this is regarding with our class today. Any doubts?
Thank you, Arvindan sir. Any doubts from participants?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, the fourth state of matter that you just mentioned, cold plasma treatment. Sir,
Yeah.
currently, I think in Gujarat, maybe there is one institute that is handling. Any other government institute in agriculture sector, sir, that is providing services related to cold plasma, sir, in your knowledge?
In my knowledge, sorry, madam, I don't have any knowledge, but maybe BARC may be doing something related to that, I heard, but I'm not very sure also.
But yes, sir. But
Yes,
in
I
the
think
means not in our mainstream agriculture, I think.
But yeah,
it has-
they were doing for some agriculture also, not very specifically to this particular purpose. I don't know. I have to check it. But BARC is doing